We done ain't supposed to be dancing. Look how we gon' get in trouble now. Everybody cooping, how close we grinding down. It's best we go in a corner, but they got my code neighbors there. You say you don't give a damn if everybody's there, but I have no interest to impress, cause I could care less if we dancing fearless. So let them post me on a Facebook story, more glory to see we dancing sneaky freaky. Sneaky link and wine, sneaky link and grind, sneaky link and wine. You never know who recording, so you must wine with your head down. Careful how you're choking, cause people are done stories are wrong. All when you squeeze me just now, I swear I just see yourself on like this looking like a problem. Oh, what a novella tonight. But I have no interest to impress, cause I could care less if we dancing fearless. So let them post me on a Facebook story, more glory to see we dancing sneaky freaky. Sneaky link and wine, sneaky link and wine, sneaky link and wine. Sneaky walk up.
Welcome to the Late Night Show. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is all right. I'm your host, Vince McMahon. The reason why I say Vince McMahon, only wrestling people will get that reference. WrestleMania at the Ministry of Justice, where Miss Elaine Anna Richardson decided to slap the out of an employee. Okay, no, she didn't. It would be nice if she did, though, because everybody talking about it is going all over. Oh, Minister of Justice slaps an employee. No, it's not true. It's not true. Relax. So, from what we are gathering, there was a situation between a worker at the Justice Ministry and a supervisor. They wasn't getting along, so the minister was asked to intervene. The minister being the minister, and you know exactly how I mean, the minister. She came in, instead of, being neutral and listening to both sides of the stories, she decided to be not so nice to the worker who has the complaint about her supervisor. So it was an exchange of words. They start cussing, the minister don't care. She just was like, listen, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. And she was loud as usual. The bodyguards had to tell the minister, okay, minister, let's go back to the office. Calm down. This is getting dangerous. Let's get back to the office. And that was it. That was it. Nobody hit anybody. There was no wrestling match. No oil was involved. That would have been nice. But no oil was involved. There was no balloon fight. Or you take it easy. It was just a office squabble that the minister handled terribly. But anyway, no slapping took place at the Ministry of Justice, or the minister did not slap anybody. Okay? Let me just get that out of the way. All right, what else is happening? The budget 2023 is being discussed in Parliament. Discussion started on Tuesday. Of course, the ministers are present, while one minister decided to not stick with the budget proceedings and go off island to attend a water conference. I don't know. I guess the water conference is more important than the budget for the minister, but he decided that all ministers can stay here and listen to the budget meeting while he goes off island to deal with this water conference. First time in history I've seen this, and I don't understand how the coalition allowed this to actually take place. It's crazy, but anyway, this government has done stranger things. Speaking about strange, Savage Chris decided to give the Minister of Finance, of course, the tallest minister in the Council of Ministers, Atwell Irian, a lesson on how wrong he is on the license plate and it being so small, because everybody needs glasses to see the numbers on our new license plates. And looks like the minister maybe didn't notice. So the minister was schooled by Savage Chris during the budget debate meeting on Wednesday. Take a look.
Talking about the license plate. I'm talking about the number plate. I would like to ask the Honorable Minister, through you, Mr. Chairman, if he stands by the image of the number plate. And if his answer is yes, then I would like to ask the Honorable Minister if he intends to do a recall on the number plates. Why? Because I have never, ever seen number plates on St. Martin with the numbers so small. So I said to myself, what's the regulation? And then I had some of my police friends call me and say, the number's too small, the number's this, the number's that. So I said, there must be something regulating number plates. There must be something. And I said to myself, okay, let me go and find out. And it states, Mr. Chairman, the dimension of the letters and numbers of the license plate referred to in subsection 1C are for motor vehicles other than motorcycles. 1, the height, 5 to 7.5 centimeters. Thickness, approximately 4 millimeters. Millimeters. Okay? It says here, and I want to make sure get it correct. It says, regulation of the Minister of Finance of October the 21st, 2011, establishing the characteristics of license plates, the number series for the various categories, the motor vehicles, and the fee payable for license plates for the 2012 tax year regulations on license plate 2012. I would like to ask the Honorable Minister, through you, has this changed? Has it changed to present? Because, Mr. Chairman, if that is the case, right here, I have an actual size, because I got one from a partner. I went and I photocopied it and made sure it was the actual size of it to measure the numbers. And I marked the numbers, Mr. Chairman. So when you take the ruler and you go right by this line here and you go down, it's 4.7 centimeters. It's wrong. The regulations say 5 to 7.5. So you can't be under 5. This says 4.7. And if you go on, it goes on to 4.3 and 4.5. So I would like to ask the Honorable Minister, is there going to be a recall? And if that is the case, do you have budget for it? But then I say, let me go a bit further, because then you might want to question, what does the old plate says? Well, I have one here too. And if you take the measurements of the old plate, exactly 7.5. So the regulations on the old plate is correct. But on the new one, it's wrong. And the thing about it is, the minister make it known to us and the people of St. Martin, this is your plate for life. Well, then I stand to be corrected for it, then not for life, but this is a plate you're going to be using because you wouldn't have to change it again. That sounds like life to me. But I could be wrong. So I would like to ask you, Mr. Chairman, to the Honorable Minister, who did the execution of the plates? And did they know what the regulation stated? Because according to the Honorable Minister of Justice, when asked the question concerning the payments to the police officers, she said, and I quote, "Me, Anna Elaine Richardson, is going to do it the right way, according to the law." Mr. Chairman, this ain't the right way. Nor is this according to the law. And what is unfortunate is that the design is so beautiful. I love it. But then again, this is what you get from the government in their execution. So I don't know what it is, unless the regulations has changed. If that is the case, can the minister provide such? Mr. Chairman, I would like to know. Because it doesn't take anybody with 2020 vision to look at this and say something is wrong in terms of the numbers. They are just too small. We all know it, but we don't want to say anything because we feel we're going to sort of disturb the designer. No, the designer did an awesome job. That's the talent we have here in St. Martin. So I didn't expect anything else different. But Mr. Chairman, this is wrong.
Also interesting in the meeting was apparently the airport is planning on putting a casino at the airport, a casino bar. That's what they're calling it, a casino bar. So basically a bar with slot vending machines, or it's just called casino bar, but have like gambling inside. St. Martin is not a real place. Of course, the CEO basically doing what he wants. Because there was a tender put out for what they called it, cultural, and they want to make it fresh and nice. So let's just put a casino in our airport. Is St. Martin still a real place? Somebody pinch me or somebody slap me? Get it? Because the minister didn't slap anybody. Anyway, the MP for the PFP, the leader, Melissa Gomes, sounded the alarm during the budget meeting on Wednesday. Take a look.
And while we're on the subject of TEAT, Mr. Chairman, today an article came out that discusses a call for tender with 7 RFPs, requests for proposals, for PGIA concessions. It mentions the new terminal, which will feature 34 retail and food and beverage concessions units pre- and post-security, as well as a pop-up marketing platform for short-term rental. It very interestingly mentions that PGIA is looking forward to bringing innovative and culturally rich concepts to our passengers. Culturally rich. But among the concession packages available are restaurants, fashion retail, a pharmacy, supermarkets, and a mini casino bar. A mini casino bar. How does this mesh, through you, Mr. Chairman, to the Minister of TEAT, with the ministry's own plans to tackle and regulate the gambling industry? Has the Minister of TEAT been involved in a discussion at PGIA regarding this rich and culturally innovative concession plan? Since I think it's pertinent that the ministry be aware if the gambling industry is leaching into the airport. Because on the one hand, we're talking about controls of those little gambling machines that MP Emmanuel mentioned in the Central Committee meeting. And on the other, it seems like they might just end up in the airport. It's no secret, Mr. Chairman, that the thought of a casino, whether mini or not, hybrid bar, restaurant or not, in the airport is not something that I would support, especially because the phrase culturally rich is used in the same breath as this concession option, when I can think of a host of other legitimately culturally rich options for placement at the airport. And I do hope PGIA management and executive consultant who's quoted in the article are listening. Because then it becomes jokey, Mr. Chairman, when we speak about the contradiction that unfortunately turns up in many statements and actions undertaken by this government, things that are said here that in reality within even the public companies do not actually take place. But it's not jokes. This isn't the first instance that has had me and the public scratching our heads. There are times when the budget, the alleged policies accompanying it, and the actual actions occurring in public view have been a library of confusion and continue to be so.
All right. Also, part of my highlight for today's, coverage of our budget week is Member of Parliament Ronald Brison. He went in, he went ham. I thought he would have been shaken up by being detained for a couple of hours, and he would have, come out all scared and humble and nice. But he came out swinging, and he did not hold back. He just went in. He just went in. For him, this is the best government ever, and they're sticking together no matter what, and the budget is going to be shoved down our throats no matter what. He didn't say it in those words, but he gave some very interesting arguments as to why this budget is the best budget for St. Martin right now. Take a look.
Mr. Chairman, the government has had to endure via all this time, not business as usual. We had to deal with COVID-19, a very serious pandemic, which both successive ministers, Minister Panafleck and Minister Otley, in hindsight, everyone would agree, did an excellent job. We came up with innovations that many countries used. St. Martin as a model, which was the EHAS. We were one of the first to create such a system. We had the SSRP that was rolled out quicker than most countries was able to do. How much was it? Mr. Chairman, let me ask the minister if he can remind the public. How much was put into SSRP and other enterprise support during the COVID-19 period, etc.? I would like to hear from the minister. Remind what we had to do to keep this country afloat. Mr. Chairman, so when you take the governing program, you have to also take it in the context of what St. Martin had to endure. And I grade on that curve the government that I support. And I grade this budget as maybe the first budget in the 4 years that this government would have. This would be the first budget in which we actually can start to really act post-COVID. 2020, 2021, and 2022 budgets were still recovery budgets. This is our first balanced budget. This is our first budget where we see significant investments in the country. And that is what I finally see in the budget here. And that's why I support how this budget has been presented, the details that have been provided, and the effort that has been done by the civil service, by the ministers, by everyone involved to bring a budget to St. Martin that is balanced and that provides significant investments. Mr. Chairman, if you look at the amount of investments that have gone into the country at this point, based on this budget, yes, some will highlight that you had 21 million, I believe, was stated in operational cuts. But you can't look at just the operational cuts without looking at the millions that is now projected in capital investments. Something that is unprecedented, yet realistic. Me says so, the minister says so, even CFT says so. CFT has told us multiple times in the meetings here and in informal meetings in the conference room that they have seen an amazing improvement from the government in their ability to present capital investments. And in those discussions, they believe that these capital investments will materialize. So how do we only look at the operational side of the budget and say, yeah, but this budget doesn't do nothing, but then completely ignore 85 million guilders in 2023 and 40-something million in 2024 going into bettering schools, roads, infrastructure, tourism, all of these necessary investments? So that is not a fair and complete picture of the budget. The complete picture of the budget is a combination of the operational budget, the capital expenditure budget, and the policy document. And when I take all three together, I see a budget that, is it perfect? Of course not. Do I have some questions, and have I had some questions? Sure. But to make it seem that, oh God, this budget is completely unrealistic, also maybe shows that there's also certain lack of understanding of what is actually being done. And I'll give one example. Here you have, I looked to my right to my colleague, William Marlin, when I heard one of the first questions from the United Democrats. Minister of ECYS, what about the Monument Fund? I almost dropped down on my chair. said, really? You want to ask about the monument fund? Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask the minister if he understands the motion that was passed to confirm that you understand that it's not for the monument fund to go and fix Diamond Estate. That's not what the motion said. The motion alludes to the ones ultimately responsible. Because if that's the angle she's trying to come with, like, maybe we could see if you get a monument fund in place, then, you know, and you don't have to pay that. Maybe somebody else could pay it instead. Then maybe that's what needs to happen. But not with the monument fund. I believe a monument fund needs to be established for the right purposes. To make sure that our people can finally have the support to make our monuments the beauties that they can be, like what we saw in Curacao. But Mr. Chairman, it reminds me of one of my favorite parables in the Bible, 1 Kings 3:16, where Solomon was faced with two mothers that claim to have the same child, that they claim it was their own. And they went to King Solomon, and they both said that this is their child, this is mine. It's me who bring this to the world, it's I who build this. And Solomon said, you know what? Fetch me my sword. And he said, the only solution I have to this is I'm going to take this sword and I'm going to cut the baby in half, and each of you can have half. Let's just destroy it and done. And one of them, she said, yes. Because if he can't have it, if she can't have it, I can't, nobody can have it. That's what she said. And do you know what the other one said? It's okay. No. I love what this creation is. I love what this can stand for. I love the potential of this child to grow. And what did Solomon decide? That was the one that he decided should have the child. And the mother left, upset. But that other mother stayed with the child. So, Mr. Chairman, I encourage all of us to stay strong. Especially this year, it is only going to get worse. I know that I am prepared on behalf of the UP party to take whatever I can to stand up for what we believe in. But I do believe that it will only get worse. Because when you start as a member of parliament to go after things like Mullet Bay and call them out when they destroy monuments and call them out and bring motions and tell them go pay. No, you won't get an off a shipyard. It's the same group of people always. You don't notice that, Mr. Chairman? But I will not stop because I know what I signed up for. And I know that the prayers of the people and the love that I receive, they see what I do. And they know that myself, my party, and our coalition are doing our best to work in the best interests of St. Martin. Just like this budget is a reflection of the best effort we could have possibly put together, all things considered, to serve the people of St. Martin. So I will be supporting this budget. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Of course, the budget meeting continues as we speak. It's going to conclude by the end of the week. Of course, the coalition is clearly sticking together. Some amendments are coming and some motions are coming. So we're going to see who's going to support these motions when push comes to shove. But of course, we continue our coverage of the budget 2023. All right. Welcome to the Late Night Show. We have a good one for you. Let's begin.
Okay, here goes nothing.
Hey girl, you tell me you don't call me back today. Oh, wait, that's him calling now. I'll call you back.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Hey, I had a wonderful time.
Hello?
How beautiful.
You've got to be kidding me.
I wanted to... This thing's so stupid.
Stupid?
No, you're not stupid. This is stupid. Can you hear me? I don't think you're deaf.
Deaf?
I am saying...
Boy, bye.
Make the switch. Get faster internet for less.
At SXM, we're taking travel and tourism to new heights. Here we boast spacious check-in areas, 10 passport control points, comfortable departure lounges, and finally, there's an airport in the Caribbean that takes your travel plans as seriously as you do. Princess Juliana International Airport.